The army thought I might be able to help.
Well, I don't know in what way. Rambo's a civilian now. He's my problem.
I don't think you understand. I didn't come here to rescue Rambo from you. I came here to rescue you from him.
The great French poet Arthur Rimbaud, 1854 to 1891, who completed his revolutionary body of work by age 19, shattered once and for all the restraints that bound Western poetry to the realms of reason, history and tradition. Dreamlike and visionary, yet astonishing in their technical assurance, his poems gave to world literature not merely a new language, but a new, a wilder experience of reality. Angry Caesar. This man, pale, walks the flowering lawns, dressed in black, cigar between his teeth. The pale man thinks about the Tuileries in flower, and at times his dead-eyed flames. His 20 years of orgy have made him drink. He told himself, I will extinguish liberty, as I put out a candle, softly, politely. Liberty lives again. He feels worn out. They've caught him. Now what name trembles on his silent lips? What quick regret? No one will know. The emperor's eye is dead. He sees again, perhaps, the man in the pince-nez, and watches drifting from his lighted cigar, like evenings at St. Cloud, a thin blue haze. Barbarian. Long after days and seasons pass, and the living have gone, and the land, a banner of meat that bleeds onto the silk of seas and Arctic flowers. They do not exist. Echoes of heroics and the old fanfares that still attack us, head and heart, far from the assassins of the past. A banner of meat that bleeds onto the silk of seas and Arctic flowers. They do not exist. Delight. Bright fires raining in squalls of sleet. Delight fires in the rain of a diamond wind, thrown from this terrestrial core, charred forever. And for us, O world, far from old retreats and ancient flames, we hear and feel bright fires and foam, music turning in crevices, the shock of ice against the stars. O delight, O music, O world, there, forms sweating, hair and eyes drifting, white tears, burning tears. O delight, the voice of woman in gulfs of fire and frozen caves of ice. And the banner.
Murdoch. I'm coming to get you.
Crows. Lord, when the open field is cold, when in the battered villages the endless Angelus dies. Above the dark and drooping world, let the empty skies disclose your dear, delightful crows. Armada, dark with harsh cries, your nests are tossed by icy winds, along the banks of yellowed ponds, on roads where crumbling crosses rise, in cold and grey and mournful weather, scatter, hover, dive together. In flocks above the fields of France, where yesterday's dead men lie, wheel across the winter sky, recall our black inheritance. Let duty in your cry be heard, mournful, black, uneasy bird. Yet in that oak, you saints of God, swaying in the dying day, leave the whistling birds of May for those who found within that wood from which they will not come again, that every victory is vain.
And there isn't one of us that doesn't want to be someplace else. But this is what we do. Who we are. Live for nothing. Or die for something.
The hanged men dance. On old one-arm, black scaffolding, the hanged men dance. The devil's skinny advocates, dead soldiers' bones. Beelzebub jerks ropes about the necks of small black dolls who squirm against the sky. With slaps, with whacks and cuffs and kicks, he makes them dance an antique roundelay. Excited jumping jacks, they join thin arms. Black organ lofts their fretwork breasts that once beat fast at beauteous damsels' charms, now clack together in a perverse embrace. Hurrah, the jolly dancers whose guts are gone. About the narrow planks they jerk and prance. Beelzebub roars the rasping fiddled song. Hop! They cannot tell the battle from the dance. Hard heels that never wear out shoes, they've all put off their overcoat of skin. What's left beneath is hardly worth excuse. Their skulls are frail and white beneath the rain. A crow provides a crest for these cracked heads. A strip of flesh shakes on a skinny chin. They swing about in sombre skirmishes, like heroes stiff, their armour growing thin. And the breeze blows for the skeleton's ball. The gibbet groans like an organ of iron. In violet forest the wolves wail. The distant sky flames with hell's own fires. Oh, shake me these dark commanders down, who slyly rake through broken fingertips, love's rosary across their pale ribs. This is no monastery, you dead men. And there in the midst of the dance macabre, one wild skeleton leaps in the scarlet clouds, stung with madness like a rearing horse, with the rope pulled stiff above his head. He tightens bony fingers on his cracking knees, with squeals that make a mock of dead men's groans, and like a puppet flopping in the breeze, whirls in the dance to the sound of clacking bones. On old one-armed black scaffolding, the hanged men dance, the devil's skinny advocates, dead soldiers' bones.
Blah, blee, blah, 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 blah. Blee, blah, 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 blah. Blee, blah, blah, blee, blah. Blee, blah, 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 blah. Blee, blah, blah, blah.
The River of Cordial. The River of Cordial rolls ignored in empty countryside, lulled by the voices of 100 crows, a celestial tide, and great pine branches overhead that the wild winds ride. All things roll here, horrors of midnights, campaigns of a lost year, dungeons disturbed and groves of lights, echoing on these shores still clear, dead ecstasies of questing nights. Yet how the wind revives us here. The wanderer who watches these black bands take courage as he goes, forest soldiers that the Lord commands, dear, delightful crows, chase the crafty peasant from these lands, and the old claw he shows.
They drew first blood, not me.
Look, Johnny. Let me come in and get you the hell out of there.
They drew first blood.
The Drunken Boat. I drifted on a river I could not control, no longer guided by the bargemen's ropes. They were captured by howling Indians who nailed them naked to coloured stakes. I cared no more for other boats or cargoes. English cotton, Flemish wheat, all were gone. When my bargemen could no longer haul me, I forgot about everything and drifted on. Through the wild splash and surging of the tides, last winter deaf as a child's dark night, I ran and ran. and the drifting peninsulas have never known such conquering delight. Lighter than cork, I revolved upon waves that rolled the dead forever in the deep. 10 days beyond the blinking eyes of land, lulled by storms, I drifted seaward from sleep. Sweeter than children find the taste of sour fruit, green water filled my cockle shell of pine. Anchor and rudder went drifting away, washed in vomit and stained with blue wine. Now I drift through the poem of the sea. This gruel of stars mirrors the milky sky, devours green azures, ecstatic flotsam. Drowned men, pale and thoughtful, sometimes drift by. Staining the sudden blueness, the slow sounds, deliriums that streak the glowing sky. Stronger than drink and songs we sing, it is boiling bitter red, it is love. I watched the lightning tear the sky apart, watched waterspouts and streaming undertow, and dawn like dove people rising on wings. I've seen what men have only dreamed they saw. I saw the sun with mystic horrors darken and shimmer through a violet haze. With a shiver of shutters the waves fell, like actors in ancient forgotten plays. I dreamed of green nights and glittering snow, slow kisses rising in the eyes of the sea, unknown liquids flowing, the blue and yellow stirring of phosphorescent melody. For months I watched the surge of the sea, hysterical herds attacking the reefs. I never thought the bright feet of Mary could muzzle up the heaving, breathing waves. I have jostled, unbelievable Floridas and seen among the flowers the wild eyes of panthers in the skins of men. Rainbows bridling blind flocks beneath the horizons. In stinking swamps I have seen great hulks, a leviathan that rotted in the reeds, water crumbling in the midst of calm, and distances that shatter into foam. Glaciers, silver suns, waves of pearl, fiery skies, giant serpents stranded where lice consume, then falling in the depths of dark gulfs from twisted trees bathed in black perfume. I wanted to show children these fishes shining. In the blue wave, the golden fish that sing. A froth of flowers cradled my wandering, and delicate winds tossed me on their wings. Sometimes a martyr of poles and latitudes, the sea rocked me softly in sighing air and brought me shadow flowers with yellow stems. I remained like a woman, kneeling. Almost an island I balanced on my boat's sides, rapacious blonde-eyed birds, their dung, their screams. I drifted on through fragile, tangled lines. Drowned men, still staring up, sank down to sleep. Now I, a little lost boat in swirling debris, tossed by the storm into the birdless upper air. All the handsome merchants and monitors could not fish up my body drunk with the sea. Free and soaring, trailing a violent haze, shot through the sky a reddening wall, wet with the jam of poets' inspiration, lichens of sun and snots of bright blue sky. Lost branch spinning in a herd of hippocamps, covered over with electric animals, an everlasting July battering, the glittering sky and its fiery funnels, shaking at the sound of monsters roaring, rotting behemoths in thick whirlpools, eternal weaver of unmoving blues. I thought of Europe and its ancient walls. I've seen archipelagos in the stars, feverish skies where I was free to roam. Are these bottomless nights your exiled nests? Swarm of golden birds, the strength to come? True, I've cried too much. I am heartsick at dawn. The moon is bitter and the sun is sour. Love burns me. I am swollen and slow. Let my keel break. Oh, let me sink in the sea. I long for a shore in Europe. It's a small pond, dark, cold, remote, the odour of evening and a child full of sorrow who stoops to launch a crumpled paper boat. Washed in your languors, sea I cannot trace, the wake of tankers foaming through the cold, nor assault the pride of pennants and flags, nor endure the slave ship's stinking hold.
Blee, blah, blah, blee, blah. Blee, blah, 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 blah. Blee, blah, 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 blah. Blee, blah, blah, blee, blah. Blee, blah, 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 blah. Blee, blah, 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 blah.
A season in hell. Once, if my memory serves me well. Once, if my memory serves me well, my life was a banquet where every art revealed itself, where every wine flowed. One evening I took beauty in my arms and I thought her bitter, and I insulted her. I steeled myself against justice. I fled. O witches, O misery, O hate, my treasure was left in your care. I have withered within me all human hope. With the silent leap of a sullen beast, I have downed and strangled every joy. I have called for executioners. I want to perish chewing on their gun butts. I have called for plagues to suffocate in sand and mud. Unhappiness has been my god. I have lain down in the mud and dried myself off in the crime-infested air. I have played the fool to the point of madness. And springtime brought me the frightful laugh of an idiot. Now, recently, when I found myself ready to croak, I thought to seek the key to the banquet of old where I might find an appetite again. The key is charity. This idea proves I was dreaming. You will stay a hyena, shouts the demon who once crowned me with such pretty poppies. Seek death with all your desires and all selfishness and all the 7 deadly sins. I've taken too much of that. Still, dear Satan, don't look so annoyed, I beg you. And while waiting for a few belated cowardices, since you value in a writer all lack of descriptive or didactic flair, I pass you these few foul pages from the diary of a damned soul.
Not so easy to survive. Still war here.
Survive a war. You gotta become war. Mission accomplished.
War. When I was a child, my vision was refined in certain skies. My face is the product of every nuance. All phenomena were aroused. At present, the eternal inflections of the moment and the infinity of mathematics hunt me over this earth, where I experience all civil successes, respected by strange childhood and devouring affections. I envisage a war of justice or strength, of a logic beyond all imagining. It is as simple as a musical phrase.
Looks like he wants to turn himself in.
There's one man dead! It's not my fault! I don't want any more hurt!
Freeze! Stand right where you are! Give yourself up!
But I didn't do anything!
I'm warning you, boy, don't make a move! I'll blow your head off!
I didn't do anything! Oh!
Cease fire! Cease fire! What? God damn it! Cease fire! I think we hit him.
evil, while the red-stained mouths of machine guns ring across the infinite expanse of day, while red or green before their posturing king, the massed battalions break and melt away. And while a monstrous frenzy runs a course that makes of 1,000 men a smoking pile, poor fools dead in summer in the grass on nature's breast, who meant these men to smile. There is a God who smiles upon us through the gleam of gold, the incense-laden air, who drowses in a cloud of murmured prayer, and only wakes when weeping mothers bow themselves in anguish, wrapped in old black shawls, and their last small coin into his coffer falls.
Don't push it, I'll give you a war you won't believe. Let it go. Let it go.
Remembrance. 1. Water, clear as the salt of children's tears. Suddenly in sunlight, women's bodies all white. Streams of silk, pure lilies, bright banners, beneath ramparts where an armed maid appeared. Diversion of angels? No, the current carries gold and loads its heavy black cool arms with grass, sinking beneath its canopy of sky, and the arch and shadows of the hill like curtains unfold. 2. Watch. This wet square of stream moves in soft swirls, in endless glassy gold, pavilioning its bed, like willow trees where birds hop unhindered, and the green, gauzy dresses of the little girls. Flowers brighter than coin, warm yellow eyes that trouble waters. Oh, wife, your conjugal love. The rosy sun at noon burns suddenly above this dark mirror reflected through hazy skies. 3. Madame in the open field stands too straight. In a swirl of snowy threads, her parasol unsheathed, she snaps flower tops to watch them fall. Her children read their red-back book and wait. Wait in the flowering grass, alas, he like 1,000 bright angels scattering in flight, scales the mountaintops and fades from sight. Behind him runs the black, unbending she. 4. Regret for the thick young arms of virgin grass, gold of April moonlight in the sacred bed, joy of abandoned boat docks on the riverbank, pray to the August nights that bred this rottenness. Now let her weep beneath these walls. The breath of towering poplars is the only breeze, and then this water, sourceless, sombre grey, and a man who drags the bottom in a motionless barge. 5. Toy for this dull eye of water I cannot reach. Oh, motionless boat, too short my arms. These flowers, the yellow one that bothers me. Then awful blue friend to the water, the colour of ash. From wing-shaken willows a powder drifts. The roses in the reeds have long since dried. My boat, still motionless and its chain pulled, deep in this edgeless eye of water. Into what mud?
We live, John. Day by day.